Hello, everybody. Please tune in with me for the Bravo Living Show. Let me allow you time to get connected with me. Hello, thank you for tuning in with me. Had some technical difficulties prior, but we're going to get started and get this show to flowing. Please share me with your followers as you all turn in. I would greatly appreciate it. I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. I do see you clicking in at the bottom, and I greatly appreciate it. So just continue to be with me, all right? Got some good feeding for you. Just going to allow the internet to allow the people to know that I'm here, and feel free to share me with your followers. Very glad to see you all. Hi, Annette. Very glad to see you, my friend. Very glad. Eric Dixon, I see you. Thank you, sweetheart. Miss Monique Richardson, I see you as well. If you all don't like for me to call out your names, just inbox me and let me know. But please don't stop following me, tuning in with me as we get ready to do these shows. I love having your presence with me to allow me 30 minutes of your time, all right? So I appreciate you all. So I do see you coming in. I'm going to start in about another minute or so, and we're going to get started. I believe I have some good food for you all on today, all right? All right. Feel free to share me with your followers. I greatly would appreciate it. Let me get ready to cut my music down just a tad for you all. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Monica Lloyd. I want to thank you. Hi. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Bravo Living. Bravo stands for Better Results with a Victorious Outlook. My assignment is to help you change your world by changing your view. That's my slogan. I want to change your world by changing your view. One of my ways of doing it, is on the Bravo Living Show. And I said Bravo stands for Better Results with a Victorious Outlook. I try to come to you all every Monday, 12 noon Central Standard Time. I'm in the Chicagoland area, and today we have some beautiful sun. At least it started out that way. I pray that it's still that way, because I got to go out there after this show. But I'm in Chicagoland area. I love coming to you all every Monday. I love being with you all every Monday. If things just go and flow well as far as my job and as far as my personal life that doesn't interfere, I will be here with you all on Facebook Live every Mondays. I love you all so much. Let me tell you why. Because some of you inboxed me and some of you saw me and you expressed to me that you've been missing me. Now that makes me feel good that you all have been missing me, and I thank you so very much for that. I thank you so very much because it lets me know that I'm saying something that is relatable to you all, because my endeavor is to build a relationship with you all. And that's kind of what we want to talk about in this month of November. I want to talk about relationship goals. And so by me doing this every Monday at 12 noon, I'm building relationship with some of you all. And I greatly appreciate that because you let me know via social media, however outlet that you can get to me, you let me know that you miss me. And so therefore, I want to say thank you for that. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And so for the month of November, I told you all in my heading that you all have viewed that I want to talk about hashtag relationship goals. Hashtag relationship goals. And there are 4 things that I want to talk to you all about for this month of November as it relates to relationships. Now, do know this. When I talk about relationships, there are many kind. Let me put this up here. There are many kind of relationships in the land. There are many kinds of relationships in the land. So I'm per se not talking about a marriage relationship on its own. I'm not talking about your friendships, relationships on their own. The teachings that I want to give to you for this month of November and for these next 4 or 5 Mondays, because I didn't get to look at the calendar, these next couple of Mondays that I have before you, I want to talk about relationships in a general format, okay? I want to talk to you about building some relationship goals in a general kind of way, if you all can understand what I'm saying. So I won't be so much pinpointing that you should do this and you should do that and you should say this and you should say that. No. My goal, listen, I have a goal. My goal is to help you in relationships across the board, if you understand what I'm saying. I just want to help you all with relationships across the board. And so therefore, for the month of November, if you can tune in with me on these Mondays, I'm going to help you with your relationships straight across the board. Okay. Via, if you have a marriage relationship, we said, friendship relationships, there are relationships that supervisors have with employees. There are relationships that tenants have with landlords. And there are some things that I want to address as far as relationships in a broad way. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a t-shirt today that is by my apostolic father, my senior leader of our church, the Empowerment Word and Truth Church. And the title of this shirt, if you all can see it, it says Back to Basics. He had a beautiful conference this past weekend that he did a phenomenal job in the presentation of everything that he did. And his theme was Back to Basics, Apostle Robert C. Peters. And so in the aspect of that and getting this t-shirt while I was there, because I got to attend and had a wonderful time, kudos to him, I told him I'm going to use this shirt for the month of November, that I'm going to talk about getting back to basics as far as relationships are concerned. Getting back to basics as far as relationships are concerned. So I want to talk to you all about your relationships. Now, in knowing that and believing that I've set that up for you all pretty good so you won't be surprised in what I teach you for this month, I want you to be able to share me with your followers. I do like faces, thumbs up. I don't even care if they're frowns. It does not affect me. But I'm trying to reach out to you all and build a relationship even with my audience as much as I want you to build a relationship with me. All right. So I want to talk about relationship goals. And I'm using a whole theme that my dad used, my spiritual father, back to the basics as far as relationships are concerned. So there are 4 things I'm going to teach you this month, all right, as far as relationship goals. I'm a lady that likes to teach. I like to feed, but I also like to give definitions. All right. So whenever you tune in with me, have you some pen and paper handy, because I want you to write things down. I want you to remember. I want to teach you some things. All right. So you can go back and regurgitate it, chew on it, do whatever you have to do, study it yourself as you leave me. So I am a lady that loves definitions. All right. Dictionary.com is my friend. I promise you. Dictionary.com is my friend. Listen, as far as relationship goes, the word relationship, listen. The word relationship means this, a connection. Straight to the point. A connection. Relationship, the word itself, means a connection. You can have a connection to a person or persons or a group or organization or a church. Church is a relationship. You can have a relationship in so many different arenas as far as your life is concerned. You can have a relationship with food. I have a god sister that has a relationship with food. She loves food. And so therefore you can have a connection. That's what I mean by relationship. You can have a connection with so many different things as far as life is concerned. People, groups, organization, church, family, friends, employees, employers. You can have relationships all over the place. And all that it's saying is that you have a connection. You have a connection with somebody or someone. You have a connection with some people. And so therefore, in relationship, as we go forth in this teaching series on this month, I want to give you some relationship goals. You are connected to somebody somewhere. I promise you are. Rather you're single, married, mother of one, you have relationship with your children. There are parent and children relationships. You're connected to somebody, someone, some group, some organization in some shape, form, or fashion. And you have relationships. You are connected to something in some shape, form, or fashion. Trust me. And if you are, I want to give you something that will help you better build those relationships in a broad format. So relationship, the word itself means to connect. Matter of fact, I'm in relationship with you now. You're connecting with me via Facebook Live. We are in relationship right now. We are connected. You and I. We are connected for these next few minutes of 30 minutes that I try to feed you all. We are connected for 30 minutes. And because I'm connected to you right now, we are in relationships. And I want to let you know I like you. And I'm glad that you are connected with me. Now, that's relationship. But what is goals? Goals. What is goals? Dictionary.com says this as far as goals is concerned. Goal is the result or achievement toward which efforts is directed, aim, or an end. Because sometimes goals, you have short-term goals. You have long-term goals, and they sometimes come to an end. But goals is the result or achievement toward which efforts is directed towards an aim or an end. So if you're going to have a goal, you have visualized what you want to do as far as this relationship we're talking about, or this goal that you have set for. There's a certain direction that you're aiming for. There's a certain direction that you desire to go. There's a place that you desire to end up at as far as a goal is concerned. There is a goal that I have. I have a shirt that I love to wear called Goal Digger, Goal Digger, in the aspects that I'm always constantly setting goals before me in my life, as far as my husband, as far as my children, as far as my grandchildren, as far as employment, because there's many multifaceted entities as far as I am concerned, as far as me. And so therefore I have different goals for different venues, for different people, for different organizations that I get to participate and connect myself to. I have goals. I have directions. I have aims. I have short-term goals. I have long-term goals. But there is going to come a time that these goals will come to an end, and then I create another goal. And so in this process of talking about relationship goal, I want to help you get back to the basics of relationship with people. With people. I want to help you get back to the basics of relationships with people. And so for this month, I want you to stay connected with me, because I want to teach you at least 4 things that will help your relationship prosper. Be fruitful as you continue to build relationships. All right. So number 1, the relationship that I want to talk about today as far as a relationship goal. One of them is you got to learn who you have relationship with. In other words, my key word is learn. Learn the people in whom you have relationships with. Learn them. Learn them. Learn the organization that you're connected to. Learn the individuals you're connected to. Learn your spouse. Learn your friends. Learn the church you're connected to. Learn the leaders of your church you're connected to. If you're going to have relationship goals, one of the things that you have to do is learn. Learn them. Learn every aspect of them. You have to learn them. You got connected. Something drew you all to get connected in the first place. And so if you want the relationship to grow, and if you want to set a goal as far as that relationship is concerned, do some learning. You have to do some learning. I remember meeting my husband. I liked him. I did. I liked the way he looked. I liked the way he presented himself. And so therefore he liked me back. All right. And in the process of him liking me back, we got connected and our relationship began to grow. Listen, just because you connected to someone or individual or groups does not mean that there's fruitfulness there. It does not mean that just because you're connected to them. But in the process of it being fruitful and getting to that point in life, the relationship goal that I want to teach you today is learn. Just learn. Listen, dictionary.com. Love that app. Learn, to acquire knowledge to acquire knowledge of or skill in 3 areas. Listen. Learn means to acquire knowledge of or skill by study. Write it down. You can learn by studying someone. You can learn by studying the organization. You can learn by studying whom you are connected to. And you really don't have to say a word. You're just studying. That's one way of learning. So write it down. Studying. I'm going to give you 3. First thing you need to learn, if you're going to learn somebody, you're going to have to study them. What does study mean? Pay attention, observe, rehearse. Those are the only ones I want to use. If you're going to study somebody, you have to observe, pay attention, rehearse in order to build your relationship with them. You have to study them. Because you want to know how and what makes them tick. What I need to observe and pay attention to as far as their mannerisms, as far as how they carry themselves, as far as how they act. I need to study them if I want to learn them. Hear me? So a relationship goal, I want to learn you. I want to learn who you are. I want to learn all aspects about you. And so if I'm going to do that, I have to study you. I have to pay attention. I have to observe you. I have to rehearse even some things you may even do because I have to play it over in my head because I'm trying to learn you. It took time for me to learn my husband. I liked him. We connected, but I had to learn him. I had to learn him. I paid attention to what he liked and didn't like. I observed how he puts his clothes on and take them off. I pay attention to the little things that concern him, how he lay things down and how he pick things up, or I even pay attention to the words that he speaks. I'm learning him. I'm paying attention to him. I know his likes and his dislikes. All because I want to stay connected to him. My relationship goal is to learn him. I want to learn him. And so because I'm learning him, I'm studying him. I watch him. I pay attention to him. I know how he likes to come home and have bath water ready. I'm just talking about me and my husband. So you have to think about the people you have relationship with. Do you pay attention to them? Do you know what they like and don't like? Do you know how they act? That's my other thing as far as learning. If you're going to learn somebody, learn this, their experiences with you. If you're going to learn to acquire knowledge of or skill, you can learn by studying and you can learn by number 2, experience. Because experience with them will teach you so much about them. I promise you it will. You will learn by experience with them 3 ways. Number 1, study. Pay attention to them. Number 2, experience. Experience is the action or the action of. You know, listen, now let's get that. Let me tell you this. You know who you can go into battle with. You know. You have experienced some battles with some people. And you know who the scaredy cats are. And you know who the people is that will stay there with you and fight to the end with you through this. You know these people because experience has taught you who to take with you into battle. That's just an example. Experience will teach you who's trustworthy. Who's dependable. Who's loyal. who's there for you no matter what. Experience will teach you something about your relationship, your connection with people. You will study them, but you will also have experiences with them, and you know who is what for what thing that you need to do. You'll know that in your relationships. I have, let me digress a little bit. I have a coworker that I absolutely love. Been working with her for quite some time at our place of employment. I have learned her. I've studied her, and I've experienced some things with her. I told her this one day. I said, and she know I love her, so I'm going to share this. I told her, I will never use you for a witness for anything that jump off at work. I told her that. And I meant it. I told her I will never use you for a witness of anything that jumps off at work, because she got selective hearing and she got selective vision. But she is my co-worker. She is my friend. I can call her my friend because I know how to utilize, and I know the relationship we have, and I know her. I learned her. It's just that some things I'm just not going to call her for as a witness. I'm not, because she's not going to remember. I don't know if it's by choice or by exception, but I'm not going to call her for a witness for me for anything that jumps off at work, because she ain't going to remember. She just not going to remember. And so because of our relationship experience that we have with each other, she knows me. She knows when I'm at work and I'm the charge nurse, there's some things I'm just not going to address and I'm not going to tolerate. She knows this. And she will help me get my staff together on the floor to make sure that we have a good working environment until the end of our shift. She knows me. She knows how I charge as a nurse. She knows me. We have experiences together. She studied me and I've studied her. We have experiences together. And so because there is a relationship with us, there are some goals. If we want this relationship to maintain its longevity, if we want the relationship to get to longevity, you all don't take the time to build your relationships by learning the people in whom you are connected with. You have to build that. That is something that you're going to have to work at. It just don't happen overnight. So if you're going to learn the people that you are in relationship with, that you are connected to, you're going to have to study them. Pay attention. You're going to have to experience some things with them so you'll know what area you can utilize. There are certain friends I will not call because I'm abandoned. I need a way home now, or I'm at a loss right now. I tell two of my friends, well, one of them, the other one has gotten much better. I tell one of my friends, girl, I will never call you if I'm in trouble. Never. It's not that she's not a good friend. She's just not reachable. So she would not, if I get locked up in jail, she would not be the first person I call, because she will not answer her phone. She's not good at it. And I know that. So if I only got one call to make and I'm in jail, she is not the one I'm going to call, because I will be still locked up. I have a relationship with her. I have experience with her. I have studied her. I will not call her. I have told her, you will be the last person that knows if I have to reach out to everybody by phone, because you don't never answer your phone. It's amazing to me. Y'all help me out. It's amazing to me that people that's always on the phone, and they with you in your presence, they always on the phone. But when you need them, they don't answer the phone. I don't get it. I don't get it. It is so hilarious to me. So I told her, you will be the last individual, baby, I will call, because I won't be able to reach you. I have experience with you. All right. I've learned you. I have learned you. So if you're going to learn somebody, you got to study them and you have experience with them. But my third thing is this. In the process of learning somebody, beyond studying them, in addition to the experience, you also have instructions when you are learning somebody. You have instructions when you are in relationship with somebody. When you are connected to somebody, you have instructions. If you've been studying them, and if you have been having some experiences with them, you also have some instructions with them. What do I mean by instructions? Instructions is this: by guiding, informing, or directing somebody, or a group, or a church, or an organization. You have instructions. For example, I have a friend that does not never like to be late. I have a friend that likes not to be late, however you want to put it. She don't like being late. And she has given us instructions as being her friend, as being in relationship, as being in connection with her. Don't pick me up late. Don't pick me up late. Be on time when you come and get me. In the relationship, we know this about her. She does not like being late. So we make it our effort to be on time because we respect this relationship. We respect this connection. She does not like to be late. I have given you all instructions in the midst of this relationship. Don't talk to me this way. These are instructions. I'm guiding you. I'm informing you how you are to treat me in this relationship. I'm giving you some instructions on how you are to treat me. So in a relationship goal, in the process of learning, you have to study, which pay attention, have some experiences, but pay attention also to the instructions that the people give you, that the organization gives you. They're giving you instructions. They're directing you on how to treat them. If this relationship is going to stay intact, you don't call me out my name. My name is Monica. Don't go to Susie. Don't go to John. Don't go to the alphabet. Stay with Monica, because that's the way we're going to build our relationship. Don't call me out my name. Don't disrespect me. I'm giving you instructions. And so because I'm learning you, I'm going to pay attention to the instructions that you tell me. I'm going to learn these instructions even by the way I study you. And I'm going to learn these instructions by the experiences that we have together, because you're going to either tell me or you're going to show me some instructions as far as a relationship goal is concerned, because I want our relationship to get to longevity. I want our relationship to grow. Now, flipping the script now, let's go spiritual. How many of you are in relationship with God, with Jesus Christ? Because even in the relationship with him, there are some things you need to learn. You have to learn him. He even tells you that. Listen to this. Matthew 11:29 says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart." I'm going to even show you that. He said, look, take my yoke upon you, and I want you to learn me. Jesus said, I want you to learn me, for I am meek. I'm going to tell you about me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I am meek and I'm lowly in heart. And guess what? If you stay in connection with me, and this is a relationship goal for us. Listen, if you stay in connection with me, ye shall find rest unto your souls. Is your soul tired? Are you weary? Are you drained? It's only because you haven't stayed connected with me, Jesus said, because I give you rest. Because we have learned each other and we are in connection and we have relationship. I am meek. I am lowly. I'm easy to talk to. You can always find me. And if you're so overburdened, I can give you rest for your soul. But you got to learn me. Learn that part of me, he says. Listen to this. We talked about study. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. Even in the process of relationships, you have to learn there's a time to study to be quiet. Your voice does not always need to be heard in relationship. Job had some friends that came to visit him because he was sick. He was ill. He was down and out. His friends came to him, but they voiced some things that they needed not voice. What's wrong with you just sitting there with me and being quiet? Study to be quiet. Know when to speak in our relationship. Know when to speak. I know when to speak to my husband and when not to. I do, because we built that relationship. I know how to speak to my friends and when not to speak to them, because we have been in relationship and experiences together. I know how to do that. So even God says there comes a time that you need to study to just be quiet and mind your own business. You have to do that in relationships. Just because I come to you or your friends come to you, and they begin to voice some things that's in their soul, they begin to voice some things that's in their soul, does not give you the authority or the action to go forth and give your opinion. Sometimes they just need somebody to hear them, just to listen. And so in the relationship and in the connection, you got to learn that. You got to learn when to speak, because it's not always meant for you to speak. Listen to this as far as study is concerned. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto God. God said, now if we're in relationship, I need you to study. I want you to pay attention to me. I want you to observe me. Rehearse some things that you saw about me. Do those things. Put them in action. Let's get some experience together. And he says, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All because I study him. Also with God, he gives instructions. Gives instructions all the time. He gives instructions. Listen to this one. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Anytime you see or find the word seek, as far as the word of God is concerned, that is an instruction. As you're learning God, he provides instructions. So anytime you run across the word seek, he's giving you an instruction. Seek me early. He says, seek me while I may be found, he says. That is an instruction in our relationship and our connection. Me and him, he wants me to seek him early. If you want to find me, he gives me instructions. And I have to study and pay attention as we continue on in our journey of experience of life. I'm learning him, you all. Listen to this. It's sad when you have relationship with people and you're in connection with people or organization or groups, and you don't know them. If anything could hurt me is people that can say something that I said, and the people that's supposed to know me will agree with what was stated, and I didn't say it. My husband often say, people can come to me, Monica, and tell me anything they want to tell me about you, but because I learned you and I know you, I know when it's you and I know when it's not you. When they say something. And that's the way you got to be about the people you know or the organizations you know. They can say something, but does it sound like you? You know, I heard somebody read, they said they read one of my books and it said it sounded, I could hear your voice as I was reading this book, because they learned me. They know my voice, they know my tone, they know my mannerisms, they know me because we in relationship and we are connected. So God says even, it's a bad thing when you don't know me. How long have we been in relationship together? Listen to this as I get ready to close. John 14:8-9 says this. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. Jesus answered, don't you know me, Philip? Don't you know me, Philip? Even after I have been among you such a long time? Do you have some of your friends or your relationships with people or organizations that come to you and they be like, you don't know me yet? You don't know how I act. You don't know how I respond. You don't know me? What kind of relationship do we have that you don't know me? I know you are a person that I can connect with, and I also know that you're a person that I can put in charge of nothing. I know. The experience has taught me that. You should know your people. And so Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. Jesus answers, don't you know me, Philip? Even after I've been among you such a long time. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Haven't I not been with you long enough for you to know who I am? Because when you see me, you see the Father. So build your relationships, people. So relationship goal number 1 is learn. Learn your people. You can learn them in 3 ways. What are they? Study, experience, and instruction. So go forth and build your relationships. Let's get back to the basics as far as relationships is concerned. Learn your people, learn your organization, learn your employer, learn your boss, learn your supervisor, learn your coworkers, learn all the people that you have to be around on a daily basis. Learn them. Because if you learn them, you can win them. And if you can win them, you all can have a longevity connection as far as your relationship is concerned. So relationship goal number 1 is learn. And you learn in 3 ways: study, experience, and instruction. I pray that this feeding has been very good for you. I believe some of you are going to go and work on your relationships, your relationship goals. You're going to work on some goals as far as how you want to better have a relationship with the people or the group or the church or the leaders or whomever is in your connection box that you have to be with. Go and learn them. Go and learn them and know who they are. The Bible even says this: know those who labor among you. Learn them. You need to know them. Okay? Though they weaknesses, know their strengths. Know what they bring to the table and don't. Listen to this, and I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Oftentimes we get in relationships with people, and when we get in relationship with people, we never think what we can bring to the table. We always think about what they can bring to us. Relationships. I look at my husband, I was like, oh, he's really cute. He's nice. He's sweet. He could do this for me. He could do that for me. Even with friends. Oh, I like her. She's this. She's strong. And da-da-da-da-da. We can do this. Da-da-da-da. I don't never ask her, what can you bring to the relationship? You need to start saying, okay, I'm bringing this to the relationship, but what are you bringing? What are you bringing to this relationship so that we can stay connected? Come on now. I'm going to learn you, but are you willing to learn me back? Are you willing to learn me back? I'm going to learn you. I'm going to study you. I'm going to do some experiences with you. I'm going to even listen to your instructions. But are you willing to do the same for me? For us to stay in relationship. So we got to learn each other, all right? I love you all. And I thank you so much for staying with me for the length of time we've had together. I am Dr. Monica Lloyd. Learn me. All right? And you can learn me by tuning in every Monday, 12 noon at Central Standard Time, as I come forth with Bravo Living, a better result with a victorious outlook. Because my goal, listen, my goal is to change your world by changing your view. All right? Be blessed, you all. Have a productive week. See you next Monday as we learn relationship goal number 2. And I ain't going to tell you what it is until you tune in. Love you now. Be blessed. Share this with your followers so that they too can have relationship goals. Bye for now.